We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry.
ESPN just released its 2025 WNBA player rankings, and the results are definitely surprising. Caitlin Clark made a strong appearance in the rankings. Some might argue she could have been ranked even higher, but it's still a solid nod to her impressive skills. On the other hand, Angel Reese didn't fare as well. She came in at 12th place, far outside the top 10. Honestly, many would say that's being a bit too generous. It's a tough pill for Reese to swallow, especially since she clearly saw herself as the top player, this queen of the court, and the face of women's basketball. But ESPN had a different perspective. Now, with the rankings out, Reese is reacting like someone just took away her favorite designer sunglasses. She's in full meltdown mode. Could it be that ESPN had it out for her?
Let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese?
Either way, it's hard to overlook. If you take a good look at the rankings, it's clear. Angel Reese is nowhere near the top players. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is sitting pretty in second place, cool and calm, letting her performance on the court speak for itself. It's crazy when you think back to just a short while ago, when people were pushing the idea that there was a real rivalry between the two.
And if you recall from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice.
The rivalry talk is officially over. The difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese isn't just noticeable, it's almost embarrassing. Caitlin didn't even have to break a sweat to move ahead, and now she's miles ahead of Reese, who's probably out there scrolling through social media trying to save face. Let's be real for a second. This is a tough blow for Reese. She had all the hype, the media spotlight, and the trash talk. She built her whole brand around being the one, the game changer. But when the rankings dropped and the dust cleared, there she was sitting outside the top 10, holding what's basically a participation trophy. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been quietly handling her business, putting up triple-doubles, breaking records, and rewriting a playbook for what it means to be a superstar in sports. No gimmicks, just pure, undeniable talent. When it comes to the top rankings, one name stands out: Caitlin Clark. Let's be clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the conversation. She's driving it. Forget the arguments about double-doubles. What's cooler than that? She's the reason people tune into the games. ESPN has finally caught up with what we've all known for a while. Caitlin Clark is the one moving the needle. Her impact on the court speaks for itself, and what she's doing off the court is just as impressive. She's not just creating buzz. She's creating real change.
That Caitlin Clark moves the needle, that is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off...
The truth is undeniable. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's fans are still searching for her name on the list like it's hidden somewhere in the fine print. Sorry, but sitting at 12th place doesn't exactly scream superstar. It's like showing up to a VIP party thinking you're the guest of honor, only to be stuck outside while Caitlin Clark is already owning the room. The debate that once tried to put Reese on Caitlin's level? It's over. Now it's nothing but silence. For anyone who still believes Angel Reese is top tier, let's be real. Her skill set just doesn't measure up. Sure, she brings energy and attitude, and yes, she grabs some rebounds, but that doesn't make her a dominant force on the court. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, is out here breaking records and pulling up from half court like it's nothing. It's a whole different level.
Is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skill. She has energy. She has an attitude. She'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing.
If the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark were ranked 12th while Angel Reese sat comfortably at number 2, the internet would have exploded. Sports talk shows would be dedicating whole segments to it, and Reese's fans would be celebrating like they just won the championship. But now that Reese is ranked lower, suddenly, rankings don't matter? Funny how that works. Caitlin Clark doesn't need to be number 1 on every list to prove she's the foundation of women's basketball. Her record-breaking performances and packed arenas already speak for themselves. But let's be honest, she's already shown us all what it means to be a true superstar.
Off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Caitlin Clark should have won. It's confirmation of what we've all known for a while. She's the real deal. As for Angel Reese, she might know it too. The way she plays sometimes shows that she understands the ball is better off in someone else's hands, someone who knows how to take control. For example, in one game, she had a clear shot at an easy layup but instead passed it to a teammate behind her. That kind of decision-making speaks volumes about where she stands compared to players like Caitlin. And let's not forget last season when ESPN surprisingly ranked Angel Reese ahead of Caitlin Clark on their rookie list.
She knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware, like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. You got to see this clip. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game. Angel Reese strips a player at one end, runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup.
Every time Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court, she made history. The fact that ESPN even considered ranking Angel Reese above her now seems almost laughable. And let's be clear, those rankings weren't made by me. So, if you're out there defending your favorite player, remember, the numbers don't lie. The rankings have finally caught up with reality. Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball, and anyone trying to pretend otherwise is simply ignoring the facts. At the top of the rankings, there are a few familiar names, but there's one that truly stands out: Caitlin Clark.
This is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rickea Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6.
When it comes to talent, Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own. As for Angel Reese, there's been a lot of talk, but let's be real. It's time for less talk and more action on the court. Sure, she grabs a few rebounds here and there and credit where it's due, but her game has been inconsistent. While some might quickly point to her stats, anyone watching closely knows her performance often falls short. Missed shots,